We the people
of the United States,
in order
to form
in more perfect union,
establish justice,
ensure
domestic tranquility,
provide for the common defense,
promote the general welfare,
and secure the blessings
of liberty
to ourselves and our posterity,
do ordain and establish
this Constitution
for
for
the United States of America.
The supreme law of the land, the entree into our fundamental law, the document that has served as an inspiration for many, African Americans, women, immigrants, people who sought to shape the constitutional development in a more inclusive and democratic direction. Being an American is to live in a country where the government protects your most basic natural rights, which consists of life, being that we are entitled to live life as we please, liberty, that we have the freedom to exercise our constitutional rights and civil rights that we as humans deserve to have, and the pursuit of happiness, where we make choices in our everyday lives that decides the course of action will add to our well-being, making these choices our pursuit of happiness.
We all deserve our chance in the world to better ourselves and go out for what we feel we should do in order to achieve our own happiness.
The preamble of the United States is a little bit outdated. I think it does still have some impact on the way that we live our lives. They didn't know that the world was going to be as globalized as it is now back when they wrote the Constitution. Yes, we the people of the United States do need to work together to form a quote-unquote more perfect union.
In order to form a more perfect union, the framers allowed for the laws to be revised and altered according to the people's wishes and how the country would eventually evolve. The constitutional amendment process enables this to happen as the founders could not have anticipated industrial capitalism, airplanes, the internet, voting rights, and equality across the spectrum. We fought hard and we fought well for passing the 14th Amendment, granting citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, thus paving the way for immigrants to have a chance for a better life. With the ratification of the 15th Amendment in 1870, African Americans were able to vote. And later on, women finally had a voice in American politics.
We live in a country where we do get the right to vote. I do think, other countries before us have been more progressive in that. A lot of European countries beat us to that. And I think it's important that we recognize that we do have that right and that we need to be utilizing it.
fairness, equality.
The government is not above us, we're equal to the government.
To be an American is to have justice. In the preamble, the term to establish justice means to have fairness for all. The Constitution makes no distinction as to the wealth or status of the people. All are equal before the law, and all are equally subject to the punishment when they violate the law. An example of such would be the actions taken by our Congress to remove a president, vice president, and all other civil officers from office due to alleged crimes committed while serving their term. There had been numerous federal officials charged with impeachment, such as the 17th U.S. President Andrew Johnson, former Judge Mark Delahaye and Elsie Hastings, Chief Judge Walter Nixon, and many, many more. The recent impeachment was that of former Judge Thomas Porteous, who served for 16 years before he was impeached back in December 2010 by repeatedly committing perjury by signing false financial disclosure forms under oath, according to U.S. House Government Report.
I think that, again, shows some of the resiliency of the system, right? In a lot of those cases, you've had courts that have stepped in and drawn lines. While it's not always a perfect catch, I think we've seen the courts doing their job and providing that check and making sure that we stay in fidelity with the Constitution.
A lot of people in America take the ability to vote and the ability to have their voice heard for granted. I definitely appreciate the fact that we live in a free country.
We need to have more ability for the common person to have a say in the government, because yes, we do have a very large country. We have a lot of people who are running for office. We have so many people in office. It's amazing compared to other countries. But we still aren't getting the proper background checks and the proper information about the people, because a lot of news outlets don't tell us the full story.
Actions by higher positions in the government, like the president, for example, can be challenged by the people with the help of their state representatives. Justice generally refers fairness to all. The concept of justice has been argued and contested for many years, but its rooted meaning remains the same: that every member of society receives fair treatment. Granted, our country doesn't exactly have the best history when it comes to equality or liberty, but over time, as we progress and advance, so will our laws and constitutions.
It's important that we have that sort of patriotism where we feel and we recognize that, hey, not everything is perfect, but nothing in life is. but we've come a long way from where we began.
Being American, first thing that comes up to my mind is freedom.
The preamble not only serves as a guide, but it's also an obligation to the government to act according to the words chosen. We, as Americans, should always look back at our beginning as a nation and realize how far we've come and how much we have achieved. Benjamin Rush, one of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence, once said, "I anticipate the day when to command respect in the remotest regions, it is sufficient to say I am an American." And looking back from where we started as a nation and where we are now, that's definitely something to be proud of.